Streams out? Internet? You want to start feedback from the beginning? Okay, welcome back to feedback. We got feedback. Sorry, the interweb kicked us right in the old dong, but we are back. We got a piece of feedback from Kevin Van Dungen. Kevin Van Dungen, a longtime fan of the show. He gave us a message.
Straightforward.
I think we can learn a lot about word efficiency from Mr. Van Dungen.
I think so.
And I especially like the elimination where your bartender, who clearly needs no introduction. Paul, do you hear that? No introduction. He was anxious to get rid of the donkey woman. Perhaps it's some PTSD. I hope this makes him laugh because I know that big fucker could kick my ass. Anyhow, keep up the good work and Norpac.
The beef people.
Yeah.
I hope someone says the beef people. That's for Kevin Van Dungen. You know, Kevin, I like that. You're the listener of the week.
Whoa.
You're the listener of the week.
Something like that.
It's your week,
Kevin.
And it does make me get to the point that I wanted to get to, which is to point out my brother's shirt. Now, another thing we're gonna miss about Dave Chars on this program is that he wears ridiculous things on purpose. He does something stupid every week for the point of to give me the opportunity to trash him on the show. You know, like he does it. It's so obvious. You know, he's like there's no in their right mind. No one in their right mind is gonna wear a gold chain like a jogging suit with a zipper, you know, like a Adidas jogging suit kind of thing, but no shirt underneath and just like a gold chain, you know.
Like a Russian mobster.
Yeah, he looked like a Russian mobster.
But
Yeah.
in Burford.
Not like a Polish mobster.
Polish
is what you
mobster.
Yeah.
No, technicalities. Okay, I'm sorry.
Thick Polak, yeah. Thick. Really unsightly. Yeah.
He's,
On the front of his shirt, it just says heathen. Heathen.
that's what a heathen would say.
Do you know you're in a church? You're talking about being in a church. Look at this guy. He's wearing a shirt that says "fuck" on it,
heathen, yeah.
and he says "heathen" right on his shirt, like he's like thumbing his nose right in God's face.
Father Al, whatever his name is going to be really more mad.
Yeah,
What's
Father
his name?
Al's not going to be happy
No,
with what
he's
we're
not,
doing here.
no.
This seems blasphemous to me. I don't know if this is appropriate. Anything what we're doing.
I really.
What you did was you really shone a light on it, AJ. You shone a light on our on what we're doing here, and I don't know if you'll.
The shed, yeah.
You know what? Chars never brought this up, and I thought he was a religious man.
Yeah.
But he never brought it up that we're being blasphemous.
No, he better go for another Eucharist.
Oh, maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe he saved his own soul from being away from us. Maybe this was too much.
That's why I'm here today.
Maybe.
Is to tell you that go back to following Jesus, because
Well, you're here to tell who? My audience?
everybody involved today, yes.
You're anti my fucking message? Are you kidding me? This is an unprecedented
Hey, don't
thing.
forget, 0 fucks given. This
Yeah,
way.
Oh,
that was a test and you failed. See, there you go.
Paul, I'm saying to you, if you keep this up with that shirt,
Anywhere.
you go grocery shopping with your kids, you got a shirt that says 0 fucks given on the back of it?
Me and Miles holding hands crossing the street.
Really? Well, man, I believe that to be true, actually.
I just came from hockey.
Really? You wore that to hockey? No? No, there's certain shirts you'll only wear to the Dutch Hall, right?
Yeah.
Like, I have this shirt that says booze, tobacco, dope, pussy, cars on it. I got it 25 years ago.
Oh, that sounds about right. Yeah.
It still fits. And it's in not too bad shape. I wore
Yeah,
it.
you have lost a lot of weight though. You look great, man.
Well, I have a cancer, eh? And then,
All right, great. I'm very happy to be here, guys.
yeah, I eat away at my body, you know? Yeah, hearty har har.
Man, I just wanna, does anybody have any Coke or anything? Just mix it up with
AJ just caught on fire.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
Literally.
Anyways, Paul, thank you very much for taking that place of charge. We really got it covered. We have everything covered. His voice, my dad sent me a message saying that his voice will not be missed.
Man, that's
Oh, wow. Willie coming in hot.
You know what? He didn't send me that message, but I can anticipate he would be okay with that.
You would love for your dad to send you that message.
Yeah, he would be okay with that message being. I know I'm speaking on behalf of him, which is on. He's going to be like just a slight nod where he just acknowledges
Proud
that
of
me
you,
and
boys.
him.
I'm proud of you, son.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. You understand me, and I understand you. We get each other. This is a special moment, and the less that is said, the better between us, because that's how we can show our love for one another, is to never look at each other in the eye or touch each other.
He only makes out with Paul.
Yeah, that's right.
But on special days for you, I will make out with your brother in front of you. Oh, that's hilarious, Michael. I wish I would have thought of that. That's so funny. That's really for me, that joke. That's like so for me. Because that is the fun. Like, sometimes peculiar things happen in your life. You just see them, and you know, like, no matter how many years I live, I'll never understand this moment. It's just so weird, and it's like, why did that happen? Why did my dad just kiss my brother on his lips at my wedding?
This guy, like, I mean, I don't know if he is
Yeah,
trying
Muslim
to do
Christmas.
tonight. Like, he really wants me to convert to a religion that he doesn't practice anymore. Like, I don't know what the objective here tonight is, but I don't kiss my dad on the lips, and I'm not interested in any religions.
I don't think that's a Catholic.
Well, the answer should be
Good
zero. I've
answer.
never kissed my dad, but go ahead. Like,
No, you probably wouldn't. Belly.
I thought you were motorboating him.
yeah, I know, right? That was so weird. Like, he might as well just did this as he's cupping his baby titties and just fucking.
Your baby's got nice tits, man. Why? Well, can't I motorboat your baby boy?
The
gotta
first thing
get
he
it.
Yeah,
asks
nice-
is-
nice
the first
judge.
thing he asks is how much does the baby weigh? And if it's a double-digit number, he gets so excited
What?
because he's gonna have
Oh,
big
big
titties.
tits, yeah. But it's weird that his boy baby's got big boobs, eh? Hey, Michael?
It's called baby fat.
Well, you know when you zerber a kid's belly?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. You can't not
I
do
got
it
your
because the
belly
kids,
button.
babies are like soft and they smell good and they're like,
Jesus Christ.
They do.
they do, right? Steve, you have like 100 of them.
I had 4 babies.
Yeah,
Poor
yeah.
babies, and they all smelled nice.
Well, not all the time.
They do.
Sometimes they're covered in poop, but sometimes they just smell like.
Yeah, they smell like babies.
Yeah, you never
Baby
smell a
smell.
baby? And you're like, oh man, that smells great.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have.
Smells like vagina.
What? Like what? If you're smelling a new baby, maybe.
Yeah, he's only smelled them in the delivery room. That's it. That's how.
Paul's just thinking of things that smell great.
It smelled like blood.
Man.
That's an honest answer, eh? Smell my baby. Got a new baby. I smell it. It smelled like blood. I didn't like it at all.
Holy
Oh boy.
That's not a. I remember like being so into my kid being born that
That's a
I
fresh baby.
that I was like really into the kid being born, right? Like so I was like following my first child to the weigh station. They weigh her and stuff. They're like cleaning out her nose and all that stuff. And I'm really interested in the whole process. And I want to tell my wife what she's missing while she's doing whatever she's doing over there. And I just I glance over to tell her how much the baby weighs, and I just see like a bloodbath. Oh my God, a murder scene, you know? I didn't even notice any of that before. I was just concentrating on the baby's head and stuff. And I look back, and then she's delivering like a blood basketball, you know, like the placenta. It just kind of flops out of her, and bleh, bleh. Hey, remember that, Paul? That big.
It's fucking terrible. Don't
The placenta is something you forget every time because you're like, baby, baby, baby. You're thinking of the baby all the time. The baby comes out, you're super happy, and then you're just like thinking it's done, but it's not done. That big.
you just don't look
out.
back.
Huh?
You just don't look behind you at that time.
That thing's pretty big, man. It's like it's bigger than the baby.
Yeah.
but it's easier to pass because it's mushy. Plus, you're all stretched at that time too.
How you doing over there, Beef?
I'm going white over here.
I thought you were gonna pass
Oh,
out.
Beaver hasn't
It's
been
okay,
through
buddy.
it. He's gonna.
It's okay.
Beaver, this is training for you, man. You been to the classes yet?
No, I'm not. I don't plan on going any.
He just was.
You're not going.
I just was. I
Oh
think.
man, I'll give you guys classes.
Wow.
We should- can we do it on air?
Step 1 through 10. I gotta wait for
He's
11.
gonna pass out over there.
Hey, have you taken the marriage course in the Catholic Church?
Yeah. No, I had to do that before I got married. It was like, I was in Simcoe. Yeah.
Did they tell you about putting your fingers in your wife's vagina
No,
and
what was so awkward
stretching
about
the
that
mucus?
scenario was there was a priest in training that was in the same class, and he was hand in the air every question asking. It was awkward.
Oh, he wanted to learn so he could
Yeah.
teach.
But he was really trying to learn like in depth.
You had to tell him it's by the bum. It's way down.
Why it was like it's like a kid learning sex ed for the first time, right? They didn't
Exactly.
He didn't know what he was.
It doesn't matter how long the zipper is. Just keep going.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Go right down to the bottom. That's where it is. Right at the bottom. You're like, it can't be this far down. Yep, it's there.
Pete,
You know
you
what's
just
right
made-
next door? Bumhole. Right next door.
No, but you just,
Real close.
you just
Share a wall.
treated
Yeah.
me with a whole
It's
new
thin.
lesson here. What's to come.
What?
You just treated me with a whole new lesson of what's to come here shortly.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome, though. But this is the weird part,
Just don't
Beeve.
look back as we
This is the weird part. You'll see your wife's vagina. It'll look just like your normal vagina that you love and you spend all that time with.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it'll just look a little different. You're just like, it's a little different. And then it's kind of like, it kind of looks like it's got a lump or whatever. Like it's a little bit bigger. And then you're like, then it'll kind of like, it'll part. Just a little bit parts. And then out comes this like bubble thing with hair on it.
Yep.
And you're like, what in the fuck is that? Bubble thing with hair on it. And I remember asking the nurse, like, what is that? And she goes, that's your baby. That's your baby's head. And I'm like, no fucking way. My baby's head can't be a bubble. Like, it can't be a bubble.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's no way that's going to turn into a head. And like, sure as shit, it turned into a head. It was like bubble, then like coney, like a cone, and then just a fucking head, man. And then there's ears and shit on it. And then the shoulders come like, holy fuck. And then by the time the shoulders are past, then you're like, then it's like clear sailing. Like, then the thing just
It's
goes,
out.
it's no big deal.
It's the downspout. Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
gone.
But those shoulders, you're like, you're gonna, and then like things happen. Like there's a lot of things happen at once, you know. That's where the stuff goes down. There could be tearing. There could be like they might cut you. It's called an episiotomy. What they do is they cut the bitch. You know, that's what just be a derogatory. That's a derogatory term, but
Two turns
that's a
into one.
medical term too. I think they used it in Simcoe Hospital there. I'm pretty sure they used it at the Norfolk General. Time to cut the bitch. Is what the doctor
That's how they pronounce it?
Yeah, cut the bitch.
He rolls his sleeves too. He's so excited.
That was a lady.
Oh, is it a lady?
Yeah,
All right.
cut the bitch. Yeah. That's why I thought it was okay that she said it, because like, hey,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it, but if a girl's saying
I
it.
just love how like you've had 2 kids and you've not used one medical term in this whole discussion.
What are you supposed to use?
I mean, like, you think for a guy that has 2 babies, you would have some experience in this, but you've been talking about it like, bleh, like everything
No,
is.
he said it exactly how it happens.
That is what
it's
it looks
pretty
like,
much
though.
like a primal feeling that you would have.
Like the exact video in my head
That's
he
great.
explained.
I'm just,
Yeah, you know what my friend did? He had a baby. He shows me the video of his baby. He's like, you want to see the video of my baby being born? And I'm
Why?
like, fuck, no.
why would you have that in your pocket? That's weird.
And he goes, no, it's really good. It's like it's classy. Don't worry about it. It's like he said it's appropriate. You know, you're not going to see anything you don't want to see. And so I'm watching this video.
I'm just imagining that his wife is like just wiping her mouth like she's eating at a fancy restaurant every time the baby comes out a little bit more. She's like dabbing her pussy.
No, that's not how.
Classy, that's
You've never even seen it on a video of a baby being born. Eh?
It's like she's done with the appetizers and she's moving on to the main course.
This is a baby being born. It's different.
No, I know that the baby's being born. I'm not doubting that part. I'm doubting the fact that your friend called it classy.
No, this is. Wait till I tell you what the video happened
All
in
right,
the video.
go ahead.
She's sitting there in a bed, right? All you can see is the side of her leg. The side of her leg. That's it. And her knees up like this, right? And then the lighting's dim. And there's like music playing in the background. I think it was Jack Johnson or something.
Okay.
That's great.
And then all of a sudden, from the side of her leg, you can hear her husband in the corner, just counting to 10 calmly with the music,
Are you sure he didn't show you like soft porn or something like that?
3, 4, 5, like that. And then she's just going like this, right? And then all of a sudden, you see in her leg, the baby's head emerges past the leg, and then the baby comes out, and it's beautiful, And I'm like, what in the fuck? That was not what happened to us at all.
It was the Antichrist being born.
It was bright, like where we were, it was like the sun was shining. Like the room couldn't have had more lights on. It was a very clinical room. It was for performing surgery or something like that. Like, it wasn't comfortable at all. There was fucking 1 million people in there. It was crazy. There was blood everywhere, and there was screaming, right? It is not at all that. I wouldn't show a video of that to anyone, And there's also, I'm not saying it happened with me or nothing like that, but there's also many times where women shit, because when you push the baby out, you feel like it feels like you got to shit. So you push the same way you would push out a poop. Well, if you have a poop in the chamber, that poop's coming out, and they're really good about it, the nurses and stuff like that. They see it all the time, so they just sweep it away. They get real discreet about it, eh? But you know when there's poop in the room.
It's like when you're having sex and like the woman queefs and you just pretend it didn't happen.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, yeah, right?
It's funny, right?
You would just put your poker face on. No, don't laugh, you fucking animal. Like, you just move on with it. You just pretend it didn't happen.
But it's funny, though.
I laugh.
Yeah, look, that's after having 4 kids, you can laugh. But like, I'm talking when you're in the first 2 years. You're gonna go like, ha. Like, you're never gonna fuck her again, for sure.
Why? You did that. You filled her with the air.
Yeah, but like, I'm not like, look at my glorious work. Like,
Yeah, that's exactly what I do. You should get married, man. It's way more fun.
No,
You should do that.
I'm just gonna let this conversation simmer first, and then I'll think about it.
No, get married.
Get
Because like
married. I hope I have a classy birth.
a pussy fart birth.
Oh, yeah.
You're the one talking about queefing and stuff, and then you want
Oh
a
yeah, I'm
classy
sorry. I
birth.
started this conversation. Yeah, you're right. I
Yeah.
apologize.
You said.
I said I was not the one that was talking.
No, I was talking about the beauty of childbirth, which Beaver has to look forward to, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
And Beaver, you're gonna see it, and no matter how I describe it, when you see it for your own, with your own two eyes, you're gonna be like, you said it, but I didn't really know what it was until it looked like like a coconut cracked open, Like it was like, what the hell, man? It was like all of a sudden it went from my vagina I know and love to this big kind of coconut, and then it just springs open, and then a bubble hair thing come out.
The bubble hair thing's real.
Fuck yeah, man.
I'm gonna relive this moment.
And then when your baby comes out initially, you're gonna think, "Oh my God, my baby's super ugly." That's true,
It's your
right?
instinct.
Well, they are ugly when they first come out. They're all like blue and they're like
imagine
gross.
if you're covered in blood, how good would you be?
Yeah.
looking? Yeah.
That's true.
I look awesome.
If it's a boy, 100% you take a picture of its balls.
Yes,
Send it to all your buddies.
that's true too. If you have a boy, you will take a picture of his balls and
Why
send
they
it to your
look
friend.
enormous?
They're
Yeah.
enormous.
I got my buddy sent me a picture of his boy. I can show you after the show. It's hilarious.
I'm pretty sure I know which buddy it is too already.
But guess what? When you
Portuguese
have a
descent.
girl, inside this is some medical terms for you, AJ. Inside
Now he's, overcompensating. Go ahead.
inside the womba, you know the womba.
Yeah, the womba. Yeah, I do know
known
what
as
the
womb.
womba is. Yeah.
Inside the womba, the baby sits in a sack. It's called amniotic fluid. It's sitting in, right? Sits in there for about 9 months or so.
Woombala seems like an instrument that Weird Al Yankovic would be playing.
Yeah, he plays the Woomba.
He plays the Woomba.
And so the baby sits in there, and you know what happens when it's sitting in a bag of fluid for 9 months?
What happens?
Your body absorbs the water, you know? And it goes into your more delicate regions. It absorbs that water and becomes plump,
Okay.
you know?
So
So when the baby's born, its eyes are kind of puffy, its lips are puffy, its genitals become
puffy too.
puffy.
Yeah.
And that's why
I don't know why he hesitated to say.
that's why a little boy's balls look enormous.
Enormous, yeah.
Right, so you take a picture of it because like my boy's like he's got a giant dick, right, or a giant, at least a giant nutsack. But when you have a girl, your girl's vagina is huge, and you're like, you don't take pictures of that. You keep it quiet.
Yeah, let it die.
You're like, okay, we're not going to talk about that. Maybe she'll grow into that thing.
Yeah.
Grow into it. Yeah.
You know, we're not going to talk about it. You know, like, and then you realize it's normal. It's just water and such, and nature's way. And then you move on, right?
Then you have another kid, and you do another.
Yeah. Good Jesus, you know. But it's a real eye opener, Beef. And wait till we get into the poops. We got a whole bunch more learning in the next class to come. Next time you come back, Beef, we'll get some more Lamaze teaching. Bring your wife. We'll get you breathing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how to hold her hand.
We get a nice class going.
Oh, that's great. Charters, if he was still on the show, he could show you that finger move but you don't need that anymore. You want kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Catholics teach you how not to have kids.
Really?
Yeah. Because they don't to say no birth control, but you can pull out and blow it on her face all you want. They say that in the thing, right?
Yeah, in the Bible.
Right in the Bible.
The Bible.
The face is good to go.
Yeah. Because then you're not gonna waste any jizz. I think it's still, it could find its way to the vagina still, you know. If God wanted it to happen,
It happened.
that face jizz will find its way to the vagina. That's all I'm saying. If God is with it, right? That's feedback. We got feedback, everybody. If you'd like to, please send us some by going to Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Or give us an email, livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com, and we will read your feedback live on air. And you could become listener of the week. And you know what? Maybe you'll even win some tickets. I'm going to say Kevin Van Dungeon right now, because you're listener of the week. We're going to throw in a little bit of a sweet prize for you, Kev. 2 tickets to Mace Scaloni on March 23rd.
Wow.
March 23rd, the first of our spring stand-up series. Mace Scaloni will be headlining a great lineup, actually hosted by yours truly that night, the first night here at Spiky Ball's basement in Dutch Hall.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing that show. It should be great. We got some interest. We're really going to fill this room up, so get your tickets now at spikyballstudios@gmail.com. We will make sure to put some aside for you. But Kevin, 2 of them right now are yours, buddy. Get a date together. You're coming to town. I'll get it to you after the show.
It's your week.
It's your week, Kev. And we did miss the Cheese Lady, but I'm going to say, Cheese Lady, we got your message, and thank you very much for the support. We'll see you soon. I'm getting together a dating game together for you. Without further ado, let's introduce our guest formally. This guest has been on the show many times before, but most notably, I believe, was the very first show, Revolution with AJ Bate. I think that tells the most about him. And every show after that, I think Joe Batello ruined it.
Yep.
Horribly ruined it.
Sounds about right.
Right?
Sure did.
And we will talk about that and more with our guest tonight, Mr. AJ Bate, everyone.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
He's Iron Man.
AJ, so I wanted to say to you, we had briefly touched on it at the beginning of the show. You had immigrated to this country in what year?
2014.
2014.
Yeah.
And your parents were already over here?
Yes,
at
they
that
were.
point in time?
Yeah.
And but so you kind of came here because they chose here, right? Or did you choose Canada? They chose.
Yeah, they chose it.
Right.
I don't get to choose.
But when you came here, you were excited at the opportunities, right, that were available to you.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Because what did you see as being an opportunity in Canada that you wouldn't have had in Libya?
Not get shot at. But other than that, it was free healthcare. It was good. No, I mean, just it's better than there. So the opportunities were kind of endless, I guess.
Oh, like you just thought it was anything was possible.
Well, I was just back then. I just wanted to like continue being an engineer, or really like kind of advance that. But turns out that's engineers here like can't even find jobs.
Really?
Yeah, man, it's tough out there for an engineer.
You know, they were saying I watched this this Japanese guy. I think he was talking about the future of education, and he said that he goes, most of the knowledge-based jobs are going to be done by machines.
Yeah,
and you don't need to.
I'm
You don't need to.
a believer that university really nowadays does not work.
No, it doesn't. They're teaching the wrong things.
I don't think you need to go to university.
Because they teach kids in school to be a vessel of knowledge. Well, you're not gonna. You don't need a vessel of knowledge anymore. It's called a computer.
15
That
years
can
ago,
be that's faster than a
15 years
human.
ago, definitely go to university, but nowadays, YouTube teaches you pretty much everything, and knowledge has been more accessible than ever. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but mainly college universities to teach you how to think, right? It's what you.
But they don't anymore. That's
Well,
the
you know,
thing.
it's just about It's just about throwing you into the pond.
Well, the
It's
thing
like
is-
throwing you in an irrigation pond and teach you to swim. You know, you have to.
You float on your own, man.
Yeah, that's the thing about university. You teach a kid how to. It gives a kid a chance to kind of be like looked after and learn how to live on their
Yeah,
own.
in a way,
before.
it's just reality. Like,
Yeah,
you could learn all you want in school. You got to find your own job, no matter what engineering, or it don't matter what the fuck you're
Well,
going through
back
school
then,
for.
university used to prepare you for the real world because
True.
they would just kind of like break down everything you thought you knew about life.
Yeah.
But now it's more like cuddling, and they really like have a political agenda to them, and it's no longer.
Well, that's not the school that pushes it. I don't think. I think it's just it's the kids,
No, it's
Society.
the professors.
the professors. You think?
Yeah, of course.
I think it's a
Really?
mixture because for me, high school was where I was
Where's the
told
voice coming from?
drummer.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Sorry.
High school for me was where I was kind of told that that's where you need to get ready. And this was before college. That was where they were kind of prepping me for, okay, you got to get ready for the real world, get a job, either get a job or go to college. And I was always told that there was going to be no hand holding, no help, no care on my side as soon as I went into the college or university scene. So I don't know if that's 100% accurate.
Well, what I mean by cuddling is not that they hold your hand and tell you like, but what they think is that the things that they teach you about the world is not what the world is. Is they teach you that you need to think a certain way, but then you go out, it's like people that live in the city think that the rest of the country is the city.
Yeah.
Right.
And
right.
that's not true.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
like Toronto is not all of Canada.
No.
Very true.
There's a lot of other places. But
Yeah, and Canada's not all of the world either. Yeah.
Yeah, and so on and so forth. But the thing is that it's the people in the university. Most of them are like, you know, not city people, but they're very like highly educated and very, you know, just they're not every person.
I think it's safe to say that they're the average.
Who, the professors?
No, that
City-
type of people
city
that you were describing just now.
They're not.
Is
He's
what-
saying they're not the majority.
Yeah.
They're yeah.
They're the
I think
average.
that university used to have a purpose and a role, and it doesn't anymore. It's lost its.
Yeah, what I mean is the university used to destroy everything you thought you knew about the world.
Well, they used.
And they told you that the world is it's vast, and there you're gonna find people, you're gonna run into people that are like gonna be indifferent to what you think, and you should learn how to communicate or just like not talk to them. But nowadays it's like this is how you should think, and this is the only right way to think. And when you go out to the world, you're like, well, I thought the world was gonna be this way, and but then you're shocked that it's not.
Yeah.
And then you're being challenged, but you were never taught how to have your ideas challenged properly. There's a way to that, there's a shock factor to the students nowadays. They're like, they can't handle the fact that somebody can disagree with them.
Yeah, that's a weird thing. We were raised that we were always wrong. And so we were just used to being called.
We were also raised work first, think second, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
your job's
but
not to
that's,
think.
But that's
AJ, I think that's the problem in today's society is they're not starting to work till they're fucking 25, right? Whereas the older generations, you worked first, then you learned that college and university was Bible, and then you went from there.
But the thing is that not everybody, not everybody has to work at their 25. But there are people that want to work when they're 12 or whatever, and that's also fine. But the thing is
not
that
accepted in today's society.
Well, yeah, but the thing is that the people that are not accepting it are the people that are like upset that how dare you think that way, or like how dare you like live your life this certain way, and but like I said, it's just because I don't want to get political, but I like it's like I like people like are shocked that like Trump won. It's just because the States is not New York and LA.
Right.
There's the rest of the country that thinks differently than you. So it's not that shocking, there are people, but that's what I'm saying. Is university does not prepare you nowadays for that expectation.
No, I agree.
Because you see, like, if you go on YouTube, you see all these like fucking kids like that are like protesting for every single thing. It's like you're 20, you don't know anything about the world.
Yeah, but that's what you do when you're 20, though. Those are the people who have nothing to lose too. They should be the ones that are pissed off. Like the hippies were young. Everybody before that, the beatniks, and then like young people, they have nothing to lose. They have nothing to gain.
But also at the same time, your knowledge of the world is not.
No, you're naive. You're idealistic, and you're not. You don't have the perspective yet. But that's why you do those things. Once you get older, then you just realize it's all shit.
Didn't you stay at home for a revolution?
No.
Like that's why you didn't come.
No,
here?
Pete. You're trying to.
Hey. That's Paul.
Oh, sorry. No, Paul. No, you're fucking trying to make me sound like a hypocrite. No, I walk through blood and bones.
Yeah. No. He was saying you stayed there. Like you stayed in.
No, I thought you said stayed at home.
No, you stayed in Libya.
No, I did. No,
That's why you didn't come with your parents.
Yeah, I know that I stayed there, and I was like very idealistic.
Didn't you get mad at him saying you came with your parents?
I take it all back.
That's gross.
You came with your parents.
Ew.
I'm just being very defensive. A lot of baby talk. I don't know what's going on.
That's okay. No, but you did stay there.
No, I did stay there, and I was naive back then. But like, then you saw the real world, and just thinking that revolution is shit.
Well, would you do it again?
No, fuck no. I lost like a lot of my friends died when they were 19. Like, that's why people are like, here, we're gonna start a revolution. It's like you don't have no idea what it takes to start a revolution, you idiot. Like, it's not just having picket signs and going out there.
No, it's
to make change. Like, you have to be okay with blood, and nobody is. Like, who wants to fucking have their friends die? This is really getting dark.
You know what's weird though?
It's supposed to be a funny show.
We're like clearly like Norfolk County people who are like accused of being sometimes not very worldly because of our narrow focus, maybe just being in the sticks, not seeing a lot of things.
Not everybody has to be though.
But me and you meet each other, right? You're from a totally different part of the world, right? And me from this little, like, the same narrow perspective I described. And there was absolutely no adjustment of getting to know one another.
No.
We understood.
Well, I mean, when I first met you, you were learning a lot about Libya, which was weird. Like, every time I saw you, you'd tell me a factoid about Libya that I didn't even know about. It was like,
before AJ,
did you know that Gaddafi used to eat fucking easy?
I like to research.
Yeah, he does a lot of unnecessary research, but it's pretty much, I don't know, like for me, I think I was kind of lucky because I lived in Western countries for a lot of my life, so the adjustment wasn't that hard for me.
Oh.
Yeah, for me, like...
Where'd you go?
I lived in the UK for a long time.
Before
I moved here. Like
you went, so name the order of countries.
All right, so I was born in Libya, lived in the UK, then went back to Libya, then came to Canada.
Okay.
So I lived in the UK for a long time, man. So.
So do you think if I had a person that never was outside of Libya come here, you think that where would be the disconnect between him and I, or her and I, or whatever? A regular Libyan that comes in here, what do you think is going to be the biggest adjustment between the way I am and the way like a regular Libyan citizen would be?
Fornicating would be.
They don't like me talking like that?
Well, no, they're just going to be shocked about it because they want to do it and they're just so excited to do it. For the first 2 years, you won't be able to have a serious conversation with them because they just want to get it out of the system first.
They want to.
They just want to fuck everything.
They're very horny.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's repressed in their country?
It is.
So when they get to come somewhere else, they like to just fuck a lot of stuff?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, stuff, exactly. Yes.
Girls as well?
Girls or women are brought up to be more reserved, I guess.
Right.
And most of the time, a woman that moves here most likely would be already married.
Before she'd ever leave.
The country? Yeah.
She's got to go with a dude?
Or a woman?
Or a woman can take her?
No, it's a dude. It's only a dude, yeah.
Yeah. But that sucks, eh?
That no lesbians in Libya? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. No, and that the woman can't just like leave on her own, like that she can't just leave.
Yeah, I mean it definitely does suck for sure. Yeah, like if I have a girl, I don't care if she wants to leave or not. Like I would love for her to go and
How about this? You think if let's say that's the rule, right? And then let's say that they say like a girl can't live where she wants unless she's married or whatever, right? Let's say that's a custom of your country. And then you come to Canada where it's not the custom of our country, but you want to maintain that custom, but we say no, it's
well,
horrible.
that's always like the identity crisis that a lot of them have, right? And that's where the argument comes of like these people are trying to change our way of living is because I do agree with that a lot to an extent. To me it's like if you move to another country, then you've decided to move to another country and you're going to have to make adjustments. Like you can't just come here with the way you were thinking back home because not that it's a wrong way of thinking, but it's just you chose to live in a different region and then you have to adjust to it because there are certain things like, for example, like now, there's very few families that can rely on one income right now.
Right.
That's just the way the economy is.
Yeah.
So back home, it's not that it's not allowed for women to work. I know a lot of women that work, but it's not, it's not a requirement or it's not something that women usually prepare themselves
It's like the
to
70s, right?
Yeah, but if I get married, whatever lady I marry, I would want her.
She better work, otherwise,
because
you're a comic.
It sounds like very sexist to me to even say that she got to work. I would just say that.
Well, how do you please them?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta pick.
How the heck are we supposed to please you, ladies? Feedback. Because if we tell you,
yeah, bitches be shopping. It's.
I think that's not good.
No.
No.
No. Okay.
I think the word. I started with a bitch earlier in the show, and
what
I
about
think
clam? Is clam allowed?
Huh?
Can you say clam?
Clam.
For the vagina.
Yeah.
If you're talking about the vagina, yeah, you say clam. You can say clam. Of course you can. That's a nice term.
Okay.
A nice clam, a bearded clam, a little like.
Well, that's my question to you. Do you like it shaven or bush?
What?
The clam.
Geez, I don't care. I'm not picky at all.
No.
No, I'll go through anything. I've seen it in all forms. I've lived a lot of years, and I don't have a problem with any of them. Yeah, no, I'll get it.
Very political answer.
No, I like it. If I see a girl like
I like it hairy.
In porno, if I see like a great big old fashioned hairy one, I am just like, it's like a real throwback, and it just brings me back to an old time, and I just am happy about it. You know?
Yeah, so you like it. Just say that you like it hairy. Just say that.
I do like it hairy, but I like it bald too.
No, I don't like it bald.
If I saw a bald one, I would just be like, that's very nice as well. I appreciate all the effort gone into that.
Well, Pete, you went through all the generations of it, the heavy transition.
Oh, dude, man. The beginning the beginning when I was 16 and just starting out, it was rough, man.
I've seen things, man.
The button was above the belly button. Like the waist of a woman was a lot higher back then.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then the pubic hair would be as high,
Oof.
like to the belly button at least, you know. So you would put your hand on a girl's pants when you're like 16, and you would touch the hair right away. So you think like, oh, I gotta be getting close.
Yeah.
I gotta be getting close.
It's like you're a sailor and you're seeing land.
Right.
Yeah.
But then you keep going. You're like, holy shit, I'm up to my elbow.
Yeah.
You're round in the corner, and you're like, where the fuck is this?
Just
You
hit
know.
an iceberg.
And then you're like, it's, wow, right by the bum.
Yeah.
Right by the bum.
Right by the fucking bum. Starts
Man,
all the way
oh
down
man.
there.
Why'd the hair start all the way up there? All these things cross your
Oh,
mind.
just because I'm a hairy guy, so it'd be very hypocritical of me to not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what about armpits?
Armpits?
Hair-
No. That's. Here's the thing. If it's
Like Muslim women shave their armpits.
If it's like a 5 o'clock
Do you
shot,
shave your armpits?
I mean, don't not to the fucking root, but like I clip them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I take care of myself.
Just asking.
No,
No
I'm
big
not.
deal.
Yeah, and I'm answering.
But a woman's armpits.
Yeah, if it's like a 5 o'clock shadow, I'm okay with that because it's like in between. It's like you're like
You know that she's a human being.
Yeah,
and
and
it's
she's
gonna grow
probably
back.
gonna like shave like sometime soon. But if it's like, hey, I'm making a statement, it's like, you know.
So you have to inspect then.
I don't like.
I remember seeing a really attractive girl. This was like when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
We went to my buddy's house. We were swimming in the irrigation pond, and he had a cousin down from Portugal. He had a cousin down.
Don't gloss over that.
That's a classic scenario.
Yeah.
Why, you don't go swimming in an irrigation pond?
No, actually.
Couple
Pete.
snappers in there. Not
I
a big deal.
apologize if I'm not relating right now.
Well, you never get a leech on your old cock and balls? No big deal.
No big
It
deal.
happens.
That'll get you.
Anyways,
Swinging rope in
we
there?
all irrigate our crops around here. So you have a pond.
Yeah.
And you just jump into it when it's hot in the summertime. So anyways, we were swimming in this guy's pond, and his cousin's from Portugal. It's gorgeous, right? Everybody's just figuring out ways to make moves on her.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, she's like on this tube, like an inner tube from a tractor tire, and then she just kind of loses her balance and throws her hands up in the air and
Everybody
just
lost
fucking
interest.
big bushy armpits, and we're all like, gross, we're out.
Yep.
We're all like, we're going home.
It's weird how that turns you off, eh?
Yeah, it was totally shocking how much it was just like a dick squasher, you know? Really, really killed it for me.
Boner killer.
Hey, what about you, Steve? You're like a bit of a hippie. You probably
Doesn't
like
bother
it.
me at all.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's not a preference of it. It's more like, yeah, I'll still do it.
Well, my wife wants to keep her armpits long, then what the fuck do I care? They're her armpits. I don't care. I'm not hanging out with them.
Yeah, but it's true though. I don't spend a lot of time in my wife's armpit, to be quite honest. Leg-
If I graze my feet and feel like there's a prickling sensation, it doesn't bother me either. No.
But what if it's like full on man leg hair, like long all the way?
I mean, like. It's
That
just,
one doesn't bother me as much as armpits, to be honest with you.
No?
I'll go with legs over armpits. All of it?
Shaz is good with
I'll
everything.
go like the best. Like I have absolutely no problem with bush,
Yeah, I love Bush.
and then I go.
Yeah, and the president too. Yeah.
And then I go. What's the next one? Legs.
Yeah.
Then legs. I will tolerate legs. Then I will tolerate armpits. Right.
Last.
Oh, and then beard last. Beard last. Full beard last. I saw a girl with a full beard. She called her Lady Beard. She was an Indian lady, but from England or whatever. And she had a full beard. It was like a hormone thing. And then
you gotta look at legs like if the leg is getting long, it's you know that okay they're getting behind in their day and they forgot. Whereas armpit is a preference. More, I would say, no.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I think legs is a preference too. If
No,
you don't
for
want
no for a woman like
Yeah, a woman just like I don't want to go through the trouble of shaving my legs is a pain in my
yeah,
ass.
you know that if the legs are getting a little longer, then maybe they're having a long day. They missed it, but the armpit, you'd be more like, oh, that's a statement thing. They would prefer to not do it.
This is the way I look at it, Steve. If I go to, if my wife says to me, Pete, your body hair is unsightly, and it grosses me out. It stinks. It's got Cheetos in it or something, you know? Like, she's like, I don't enjoy it. Get rid of it. I would just go to the bathroom and shave it all off. No problem. I don't give a fuck. What am I going to do? It's not about me. It's about her, right? Whatever she wants to bang, right? So I would do all that for her. So therefore, I expect the reverse, you know? Whatever my fancy whim is. If I decide I want it long, then make it long. If I want it short, then make it short, you know? But it turns out that she's a woman of free will. She'll do whatever else she wants. Nothing to do with me. And it would be nice for her to do something, but
I
she's
just
not
want to
going
make
to.
a statement that I'm not like saying that I'm waiting with a razor at the door and be like, you're not allowed in here. Listen. I just want to make that clear.
Will you date a girl?
Like, I'm getting the vibe now. Everybody's just like, oh, I don't mind it. Like, I don't mind it either. Like, I'm just saying that if her.
What about mustache?
Mustache? Fucking all right. I mean, I guess. Like,
AJ, you could be getting.
There's gotta be a
next
line.
date here. Like,
well, yeah,
your
he's
next
like,
date could be-
I used to date a girl that had like lower back hair.
Oh.
No, see now who's progressive, huh? Like all of a sudden, fucking.
Just proving your point.
Yeah, exactly. I was okay with it.
That's why
She
it
was
says
hot, but like she
used
had
to.
back hair.
Like a hairy man.
I really
genetics.
don't care about anything, really. You know, as long as I think if the girl, as long as she's somewhat presentable in public, you know, like where you can like
Somewhat presentable in public.
yeah, you can like spanks her up enough to make her look like a human or whatever.
She's done rolling around in the mud.
Then once you get her behind closed doors, affections when
Yeah,
it's just
exactly.
you and her
I've
in the
never,
dark,
I've never
knocking
like,
boots,
been
you know.
with a girl that's hasn't shaved. Like, oh, this is unacceptable. Like, I've never done that. You're just happy to be there.
Of course, yeah.
I'm just saying there are certain, that too.
Bend me
yeah,
over the
yeah. Depends on the color of the
bureau.
strap on though.
Yeah, I actually make my wife wear like fake armpit hair. It's
Nice.
a weird thing.
Steve makes his wife wear strap-on balls. Did you know that?
Just the balls. is
Just the
into.
balls.
Just to slap against his face. So,
Are they veiny though?
I'm not answering.
we have given. I'm sorry, we are running late on this show, and I have to go to another country. But we have to. Before we go, we have to say we've given Dave every chance in the world, and we're still giving him a few seconds. We'll sign off. We're going to thank our guest AJ Bate. I want to thank Tyler Shavsma from Silver Drop Media for helping us with our production.
What up, Chaz?
And I'd like to thank our announcers, the greatest band in Canadian late night history, and our great guest, AJ Bate. And if you guys would like to tell a friend about our show, we'd appreciate that. Spread the word. And you can provide us some feedback at livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com, or that's livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com, Instagram, Twitter, and all that stuff. And
Can I
if
tell
you'd
a
like,
joke before we end?
yeah,
A quick one? Okay, so here's the joke, okay? So this guy walks into a bar, and he sees that the bartender has a monkey in a cage.
right.
And then the guy comes to the bartender and is like, hey, what's the deal with the monkey? And the bartender's like, don't worry about it. But the guy keeps asking for like 5 hours, like nonstop. And then finally the bartender is like, okay, here's the deal with the monkey. He takes the monkey out of the cage, and he hits it on its head with a bat, and then the monkey just fucking whacks him off, and then the monkey goes back in the cage. The bartender looks at the guy and goes, so you want to try? He goes, yeah, but don't hit me too hard. Because the guy wants to jerk off the bartender, you know?
I know. I get it.
You get it?
Anyways, we will see you, NT. See you next Thursday.
One thing to actually announce
Oh.
is March 16th, we're going to be holding a memorial to celebrate the life of Braden DeCuman. It'll be held at the Norwich Legion. It'll start at 7:30, and there's a Facebook event. It'll probably get shared by Spiky Ball Studios itself. Yeah, just wanted to let everybody know. Thanks.
Thanks, Kev. Until next week, we'll see you, NT. See you next Thursday. Thank you, everybody.
looked through the talking points so many times, no mention of babies.
No, not a mention at all. Like, this is normal.
Yeah, but I didn't see Beaver. I didn't know.
I could see him, and I just see him, like, at the end of the